Hi everyone. So the Intelligent Planner is finally back after a long hiatus of a few months. We'll be regularly posting videos now. Today's topic is about someone who would like to get settled in UK for a few years, working there for around 20-25 years, and move back to India at retirement and live a happy life back in India. So for that, I have again created a financial model, and we have a few assumptions for this model. One of the key and common assumptions is, of course, that inflation is going to remain constant throughout the investment horizon in UK, which is about 3%. The inflation is a lot lower than what it is in India. There is also a limitation with respect to when you can pull back your investments with respect to your ISA accounts and your pension accounts back to India. I'm going to explain what ISA means in a few moments. So an individual have to attain an age of 57 before he or she can move back the amounts in their ISA accounts to their respective homeland. The same applies to pension accounts as well. This ensures that you can remit the full amount to India at no additional cost. There is no taxation, which I have assumed is going to stay that way because there is double taxation prevention treaty between UK and India, and that is a very safe assumption to take. There's a key assumption with respect to the contribution that you can make to your ISA accounts. Now coming to a brief about ISA accounts, what does ISA mean? ISA is nothing but individual savings account. It's like any account that you can have in India with your bank, but there are a few nuances. So an ISA can be of different types. One of them is cash ISA. The one that we are going to discuss the most in this video is stock and shares ISA, in which you are going to invest for the purpose of investing in equity instruments. That is going to give you the largest bang for your bucks, and that is going to give you the highest return on your investment. Then there is LISA or lifetime ISA, in which you can invest up to 4,000 a year, and the government will add up to £1,000 per year, making it up to 5,000 per year for you, and that will help you in buying your first home in UK, paying for your own contribution when you are trying to go for a mortgage. So that is very useful, but then that is not going to accrue much interest anyway. So if you are looking to buy a house in about 5-6 years, that is useful because that is going to get accrued to 35-40,000, and that is going to help you in giving your own contribution for buying a home in UK. But the way the prices have been in UK over the last few years, is very difficult to buy a home, at least anywhere near London. So that out of the way, I would like to focus on stock and shares ISA. So this is an ISA account that focuses completely on equity investments all throughout the world. So there's a global investment account that it invests in global stocks. You can have say of where you want to invest, how much amount you want to invest in certain stocks, but this is completely tax-free up to a contribution of 20,000 per year. So the beauty of this 20,000 capping of ISA is that the entire amount, not only in terms of contribution, is tax-free, but the entire capital gains that you are going to attain from this amount every year is also going to be tax-free. So we are looking at a 20,000 investment per year in ISA account, and also there is a pension account that you are going to have with your employer. This is not a mandatory thing to have a workplace pension, but it is definitely recommended to have a workplace pension. Apart from workplace pension, you can also have something called SIP pension account. That is another pension account, and that is where, in both of them included, I have assumed that the amount that you are going to invest in your pension accounts is £2,000 per year. Again, the contribution as well as the capital gains on this pension accounts is completely tax-free. So that is how you are going to leverage the power of tax-free investments. And the step up percent on stocks and shares ISA that I have assumed is 0%, because once you go above 20,000, you lose out on the benefit of your tax-free status. The pension step-up percent, though, has been assumed to be 3.5% because every year you are going to have an increment on your salaries, you're going to get bonuses as well. So it's absolutely imperative that you bump up your contributions in your workplace pension account as well as in your SIP account every year, and you don't make it stagnate. So that I have considered to be 3.5%. In general, the annual increment that people expect in UK is somewhere between 3 to 5%. Of course, large outliers can fall outside this range, but that is a safe range to take. So I have taken 3.5% step up percent in pension. The return on investment on the ISA accounts have been considered to be 10%. So considering that most of the money that you will be investing will be on developed markets, developed market equities, and not on emerging markets, there's a separate ISA account that you can have if you're interested in investing in venture capital, private equity, and more risky instruments. That gives you more tax benefit, but I'm not going to talk about those because those are just hit and miss kind of deals, because as you all know, the percent of success in VCs in private equity is very low. We are going to stick to our methods which have been time tested and not going to gamble away our money. So we are going to stick to our investment in stock and shares ISA, and 10% is a fair assumption to take on the return on investment of these accounts. The return on investment on pension accounts is typically a bit lower because it invests in debt instruments also, which is fair because you want to invest a certain amounts in gold and in sovereign debt instruments. So that ROI is about 9%. And this LTCG tax rate that you see is not of UK, as I have earlier mentioned, that the capital gains tax in these on these accounts, given that you stay within that limit of yearly contribution, is zero. So LTCG tax rate is about the amount of tax you are going to pay once you transfer all of your amount to India, to your Indian bank account. Right? There is one more key assumption that you have to keep in mind, is that your terminal pension contribution or your pension contribution in any year for that matter cannot go past £60,000, because once it goes past that £60,000 you lose out on your tax benefit on your pension account. So I have kept the calculations in a way that even my terminal pension contribution, given that you are bumping up your pension account every year by 3.5%, is still well below 60,000. As it so happens that my last year of pension contribution has come to 56,000, which is well below 60,000 cap. I have assumed that you are going to work in UK till 2050, so that's 25 years of your employment in UK. It also ensures that you get to an age of 57. So depending on your current age, you can tinker with this number of which year you want to retire. So once you hit the age of 57, you are good to transfer all your amount in ISA and your pension accounts to your homeland. And the amount that you get with all these accounts have been considered year by year in this area of this spreadsheet, in which end of year ISA value and end of year pension value has been calculated with the future value method, and this goes till 2050. Now again, you can add in more years or chop a few years from this calculation based on your age and the number of years you want to actually work. But given that this gives me a terminal pension contribution of 56,000 below 60,000 is something that I'm happy with, and the end of year ISA value is 19,066 and end of year pension value is 25,056, and that gives me a total annuity amount pre-tax of 45 lakhs 23,017 pound. And look at the beauty of this post-tax, because there is no capital gains tax on these accounts, you absolutely get the full amount even post-tax. So there is 0% tax applied on this annuity amount, and the full amount you'll be able to transfer to your home country. And the real value of this investment at retirement is going to be 10,53,857, because obviously there is inflation involved of 3.5%, which have acted throughout the 25 years of your employment, and that is going to eat away at the total corpus. The FX rate of GBP/INR that I have considered in 2050 is 120. This is significantly higher, about 10% higher than its current levels, but this is actually a safe assumption to make, because according to economics, according to interest rate parity or covered interest rate parity, depending on how much advanced you are in your economic sense and your journey in finance, it's always the case that the currency which gives you a lower interest rate will be stronger in terms of its FX rates. So GBP is going to get strengthened every year, given that the interest rates in India is a lot higher than the interest rates in UK. So that is expected. It is how economics works. It's how interest rate parity works. So 120 GBP/INR FX rate is actually a very conservative rate in my opinion in 25 years time. So the real annuity amount that is going to get transferred to your Indian bank account, given this FX rate, is around 12 crore 64 lakhs. And the pension that you will be requiring is probably till 25 years from your retirement, point of retirement, if you are retiring at 57, 60. So that is a safe number of years to cover. So if you are expected to live till 2075, then the pension amount, given that the annual return on the annuity, which the insurance companies, the most popular insurance companies which in India provide, are around 7 to 8%. So this is something that I have taken on the lower side, 7% being the annual return on investment on these annuity accounts, and the inflation per year in India is around 6%, right? So that will give you an actual monthly pension of 38 lakhs 36,000 per month, and real monthly pension in India will be 8 lakhs 93,000. This real monthly pension has been adjusted to take in account of the fact that inflation per year in India is a lot higher, it's around 6%. Now, if you want to include the effect of inflation throughout your retirement period from 2050 to 2075, then the amount is going to be adjusted even further to 4,76,000. This is an average amount that you are going to draw every month, given that the inflation stays around 6% from 2050 to 2075. That will be the real purchasing power during that day. So that's it for today. I hope this exercise was helpful to you for people who are looking to move out of India for better growth, for better financial status. Please drop in your comments whether this exercise was helpful to you, whether this outcome was something that was new to your periphery of knowledge, and also whether you would like to move to some country outside of India in the future, for which you are looking to have financial model in place, and I'll be obliged to make another model for that country. So that's all for today. Don't forget to like this video. Ghar Wapsi, after having worked in UK for a considerable amount of time, is a huge achievement in itself. The point of this video is not about living miserably in UK by hitting that target of 20,000 amount of investment in ISA account every year, or trying to pinch your pennies for £2,000 per month pension contribution. This is just indicative of the amount that you can achieve in due time, depending on your job offer, depending on the package that you are receiving, whether you are accompanied by your spouse who is also working. Those kind of factors will definitely come in terms of how much you can save, how much you can invest, and the total output that you can look at from 25 years from now. The moot point of this video is about whether UK is still an attractive destination for moving and working in UK, for working with best minds of the world, getting a global exposure, given that all that is happening around in UK, all the news that is about moving the minimum number of years to getting ILR from 5 years to 10 years, and also all that is happening with NHS, National Health Scheme, the huge number of dearth of doctors and medical professionals in UK. All that is all that being considered, whether it makes financial sense in moving to UK or not, that is a moot point of this video. And according to me, according to my calculations, it definitely makes financial sense to move to UK even at this point. And if you are prepared to upskill yourself, if you are prepared to live below your means and work hard for a significant number of years in UK, you can definitely make a difference to your financial goal, to achieving FIRE, to achieving financial independence, retire early goals of yours, and moving back to India, making that Ghar Wapsi a huge celebration whenever you make that decision. Please don't forget to subscribe to this channel and hit that bell icon so that you get notified of all my future videos.